What's going on, everybody? Now, I want to take y'all to a story out of Detroit. A 17-year-old high school student, his name is Reginald. He's in the store and gets killed over somebody in the store that made a comment of a girl's butt. Take a look.
Developing news from Detroit right now, where a high school student has been murdered in cold blood. Fox News' Ron Savage has been talking to the victim's family. He's live now with the details. Ron.
Huel, this is the worst. A man makes an ugly, condescending comment behind a woman's back, and then just minutes later, a high school boy with all the promise in the world is shot and killed. It's heart-wrenching and horrible. 17-year-old Reginald Robinson from Detroit, a senior at Cambridge High in Garden City, was shot and killed Friday night at approximately 6:30 p.m. Reginald's body lays here in the street on Meyers at Plymouth Road in northwest Detroit, across from the Zoom gas station. Reginald was with his buddies inside this party store, one block down on Plymouth, when two women walked in. Reginald's buddy, Christopher, told investigators a man they didn't know made a disparaging remark about one of the women.
Somebody said, damn, she got a big booty, so we all started laughing and talking. That person ended up leaving, and she looked, I guess she thought it was us.
Reginald and his buddies walked out of the party store. They walked one block to Plymouth and Myers when the two women from the party store drove up in a dark sedan.
I was right next to the car, but she moved the gun past me and pointed his way and shot. It was thundering real loud, so I thought he was dropping to the ground playing. So when I looked, his head was like gushing blood, so I had to yell over the thunder like he really just got hit.
The buddies say the woman firing the gun was on the passenger's side, shooting out the window. Reginald Robinson, fatally wounded, fell in the street. The two women, estimated to be in their early to mid-30s, drove off. The shooter is described as a light-skinned black female.
If I reached out, I could have smacked the gun. So I'm literally really close. So she could have shot me. I'm right there. But she turned the gun and went and shot him.
Inside the party store, Detroit police review surveillance video to aid in the investigation and try to learn who was involved. Reginald Robinson lived with and was raised by his two mothers. They came to the scene, Latrice Robinson and Taquanda Foster.
It's just, he was standing on the corner dancing. He's standing on the corner dancing, minding his own business. A car did a U-turn and fired some shots, and now my son is laying there in the ground dead.
You could go up to his school. He go to Garden City. They'll tell you from the principal on down to the secretary how sweet he is, how respectful, how mannerable. Only thing he do is like the dancing, play basketball.
Very sad. We've lost the 17-year-old high school student, Reginald. He went to Cambridge High in Garden City. The boys said they didn't know the man, the adult, who made the big booty comment. They can't really describe the car. It was a dark blue. One boy thought it was a Ford, but the rest of the boys say, we don't really know cars too well. It was storming at the time. There was thunder and lightning, and it all happened so fast. So right now they're looking for the two women in the navy blue or dark blue sedan. We're live in northwest Detroit. Ron Savage, Fox 2 News.
Ron, a sad and tragic crime. Had the boys, Reginald or Chris, ever seen these women before?
No, they said they hadn't seen the women, and they live in the area, so they're not really sure if the women are, they don't believe they're from the area. Also, they were not able to get a license plate. That would have been key, of course, or even a partial plate. But everyone's hoping that the DPD, the Detroit Police, can glean something from the video and maybe get some information on the car or the women, Huel. But they hadn't seen the ladies before.
Hopefully there's video both outside and inside the store, hopefully.
Yes.
Okay, good, Ron. We'll check back with you later. Thank you.
Now, it's a sad day when we lose good brothers to something that's so senseless. That's why it's so important for us to get out of this mess we are in, to shop black owned, to bring jobs and something to our communities, because this is the bullshit we are going through. A good young brother we just lost to something that could be so avoided. Now, this is a young girl that did it. Our black communities are so self-destructive that we got young ladies. And the reason why, because there's no jobs in the black community. Asians, Indians, Arabics own all the stores, even whites own stores. They don't hire us. We're stuck out here to sell drugs, to rob each other, to defend ourselves on these streets, because now you're selling drugs, you got to carry a weapon. You're taught to hate your own brother from the next block because they're from the next block. We have to do better in our communities. This is why. Looks as if this young brother was raised very well. Now, he's raised by two mothers. I don't know if he's raised by two mothers. Now, he has two mothers. Clean cut, well spoken, his friend was at least. And it looked like he was clean cut. Looked like he was raised right. Now, of course, in my previous videos, of course, I always say, you know, children being raised without a father. But it looks as if he had a stable, solid foundation in the home. Two parents that cared for him, you know. So, only in high school, 17 years old. Now, these mothers have to go through losing a child over something so goddamn petty that we can't even talk it out. We are at a state of emergency, not only here in Chicago, but, and it's like that everywhere. A lot of people send me messages and say, hey, that shit ain't just in Chicago. That shit is everywhere. That shit is in Baltimore, anywhere in the black communities. Now, I talk about the black communities, that's where I'm from. That's where the black community is. I'm black, and because a lot of people send me messages saying that, hey, this happens, you know, white people send me messages saying, hey, this happens in my community, what about us, yada, yada. Now, I speak on the state of our communities because it's in the worst shape right now. It could be avoided. What we have to do is bring back businesses to our communities, because neighborhoods that have thriving neighborhoods that have jobs, opportunities, any black community that has those things have little or no crime. All very poor, impoverished neighborhoods have very high crime, because they have to rob each other. They have to sell drugs. They have to survive. Look at animals in the wild. Coyotes have to kill each other, kill other animals. But when you pull them into the house as dogs, pull dogs and you're feeding them, they are very domesticated. They are very peaceful, loving pets. This is sort of how I compare the black community in a way. Because once you're placed in survival mode, this is the type of behavior you get. We are being poisoned. Our food is poisoned. All right? That has a lot to do with our behavior, our family structure, our school systems, our education systems is horrific. And no jobs. If we shop black-owned, bring businesses, we spending $1.3 trillion a year. And 90% of that goes to their other neighborhoods. That's why we are so impoverished. If we change that, we will change these murders on the streets. We have to do better. All right? So I want y'all to like, comment. Let me know what you think about this video. Peace. I'm out.